And I mean, here we are, right? I mean, can we talk about it? Like, all right, so I'm not really the one to ever, kind of talk about the drama, but I feel like I'm gonna find a lane to where I could speak about it all the time and it not be so clickbaity and like indulgent. I don't like to indulge in the bullshit, but boy, is there bullshit. K Shine called Smack a bitch, bro. Ugh, my God. If you had told me, the craziest part is, right? It doesn't surprise me, right? If you had told me that K Shine was gonna call Smack a hoe and a bitch last year, I wouldn't believe you, right? This is the worst year in the history of the game. On URL's side, this is the worst year that URL has ever had, with 5 to 6 months still left to salvage it. We have time to salvage this year. We had an incredible event with Stay Forever, the greatest event ever. We had trenches with Easy. We've had some dope, blue room events, and URL just kind of been very, very stagnant. No good battles, really, just like ass chips all over the place. So it's like this is heading to be the worst year we've ever seen. I also think it's the worst year ever when it comes to the integration of online bullshit. And I've said this before, how like the online community, the negative aspects of the online community has leaked into the crevices, the orifices, the nooks and crannies of the game itself. And I think it's been cornier than ever, right? This year is like the corniest year I've ever seen from an artist, like sitting back and just kind of watching how people talk to each other, watching the conversations and the narratives, and seeing what's the most popular thing to talk about and what's not popular to talk about. We are in the corniest era of battle rap ever. Ever, ever, ever. But we have time. We have time to salvage that. We thought we were on our way. GTX started announcing everything, and RB's coming out with the announcements, and Easy's got a Philly, it's the Philly, the NY shit coming up, and all that stuff, and I feel like we were all celebrating like 72 hours ago. We were like, oh, finally, all we care about are the matchups. That's great. We're back to battle rap. And then Smack goes, fuck you, K-Shine. And K-Shine goes, fuck you too. Oh, bitch. But in the circus that has been 2023, I mean, I'm really not surprised. When it comes to K-Shine and Smack, man, I think one of the biggest tells that something is going on internally is Smack showing up on social media, man. That just does not happen, and I do not think it is a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think there is a direct correlation with what has been going on with URL, things that people have said about URL, battle rappers that have had issues about URL. It is not a coincidence that this is happening. And it's not a coincidence that Smack is now either trying to save face or, at least tired of the K-Shine situation. There's a lot of people that ask me, like, you always waved the pom poms of URL, but you never spoke on people's issues. I mean, you answered your question right there. I really don't like to speak on other people's issues because at its core, you don't know what's going on, right? So even with everything that K-Shine has said, and now with Smack coming out and saying it, can any of you sit here and tell me what the actual situation is? No, right? I mean, we can only see it at face value, and then, hope it goes away, man. Like, bro, I like to troll shit. I like to troll. I think that's my best feature, man. I love doing that. When there's truly some crazy shit going on, I don't like to throw myself into it. I like to kind of take people away from it by poking fun at it. But it's wildly disappointing to see K-Shine and Smack go at each other. I still think battles remedy this. I think we're all holding on for dear life for the GTX card to start. We're holding on for dear life for Easy's card to start. We're holding on for dear life for the RB. We're holding on for dear life for Summer Madness to start and be good, right? We're all kind of holding on, right? So before good battles come out, I guess we're all just going to kill each other. I don't think battle rap has died. It's the culture that died. I mean, if I were to speak on the art itself, it is vastly improved. I mean, back then it was very basic. It was extremely basic. It was easy to land a punch because you didn't need to be intricate. There were no real layers back then in battle rap. And I felt like everyone was kind of building up by themselves, right? Fans didn't really know what was good or not, and battle rappers didn't know what was good or not. When you watch old grind time shit, and you are and Smack and all those and King of the Dot, bro, you could tell that nobody knew what was happening. I felt like everyone was doing it like all at the same time, right? Nobody really knew what was going on, but we all loved it, and that was it, man. So the art form can never die, man. The art form can never die. But yeah, the culture, man, like you said, man, the culture for sure. But I think it's in waves, man. I think it's in waves. Everything comes in waves, right? I don't see a complete nosedive. Like I said, man, this has been the worst year ever on many aspects when it comes to battle rap, but we are halfway done with the year, which is crazy because it seems like a way longer year than it's been. It seems like it seems like it's been, 6 months feel like 3 years when it comes to battle rap. Every single day there's something, ridiculous going on. And I don't know. For me as a rapper, I think many things died for me as a rapper. My love, or at least understanding for what it was to climb in the ranks and do certain things. I mean, a lot of that has been stripped away. As URL became an app, as URL rolled the app out, I mean, so many things stopped. Back then, bro, when you had a battle, I'm getting hot. Back then when you had a battle, everybody knew when it was coming out. You get yourself accustomed. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Ugh. Ugh. Sorry. Ugh. Pat, I'm gonna put you right here. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry if I've scared anybody. Battle rap was so different. Or at least rapping for URL was so different. You would have custom made trailers. You would have, the it would pan out, and the best fucking part of your battle, or one of the best parts, would be shown, and then it would fade to black, and then it would fade back in, and then your opponent's best round, and then at the end of it they would say, at this time, at this date, and here's the key word, here's the thing that changed everything. We all can sit down and watch this battle. There is no we anymore. The we is gone, man. It's Game of Thrones now. The RBs in Westeros, and King of the Dots in Winterfell, and URLs at Casterly Rock, and you know what I'm saying? And everyone's kind of doing their own thing. And it's like what was a tight-knit community has been separated into separate communities, right? RB has an entire fan base and whole ass like world by themselves. URL is the same way. URL they just do their battles, and whoever watches URL, you buy the app. If you don't buy the app, you don't ever see a URL battle ever. And I think that's really weird to say, and I guess there was, there was a part of me that, I don't want to say I wasn't aware. I don't want to say I wasn't aware of it, but, the bulk of my frustrations come from when the money didn't compensate for the viewership. That's the biggest issue that I had. I didn't care about the app, right? Because I was already Mike P. I was already I was already getting booked on URL. So it's like Netflix, right? I mean, do you think somebody that has a show on Netflix, do you think they're sitting home watching on the app and going, man, I wish this was on YouTube? No, right? Because they're probably getting compensated, right? So I wasn't blind when I was on the app, but it was because I was being compensated. It was okay, right? I don't mind being on the app because I'm getting this. When I stopped getting this, then it became an issue. But man, bro, I remember when King of the Dot live aired me in Madflex. Bro, I saw so many comments of people wondering where I've been. People that haven't thought that I've battled in 4 years. People that were like, man, I miss Mike P. Where's he been? You know how many people don't know that I've faced like legend? You know how many people don't know I battled Serious Jones? JC and all these guys. It's weird. There is no we anymore. So as far as the culture dying, there can always be an up and down. They could die and revive and die and revive and die and revive, but that part of battle rap is dead. And I think that's the most important part. Us all being together at the same time. When there was a crazy battle on Guerrilla Warfare, we all watched Guerrilla Warfare on Friday because they told you on Friday this is happening, and we all would scurry to Guerrilla Warfare. And then the next day, Black Ice Cartel would do something, and then we'd all scurry to Black Ice Cartel. And then King of the Dot was having an event, and they're releasing the first battle from their event, and everybody in battle rap was able to watch battle rap, right? Now it's been separated, and that will never revert back. It will never revert back. That is a huge, huge part. Huge, huge part of it. I mean, bro, like, when you put all the work you put in and you go from custom made trailers and times and dates and everybody talking about you, bro, whether I lost a battle or not, when that battle dropped on YouTube, I had to shut my notifications off. I had to shut Twitter off. I had to shut Instagram off. I had to turn my Facebook off. I couldn't keep up with it, right? To go from that to nothing. And then I don't even know when my battles drop. You wake up one day and you get a notification that at 8:13 in the morning, URL dumped 7 battles on the app. None are separated. And it's just like, here you go. Watch what you watch. Don't forget to watch the others. And if you do, it's probably because we dumped all these battles on you, right? Yeah, I wake up and I'm like, oh, honey, my battle came out. Not a single tweet. Bro, like, I've battled, like, I've had some really, really good battles in the last 4 years, and a battle comes out and you just sit and it's not the narcissism. I'm narcissistic, but you're kind of waiting for people to talk about you only because you're conditioned to, right? You're so used to it, right? You're so used to the family aspect. Hey, everyone, this guy just battled. What do we think about this battle? Now it's like, dude, I would love to see the number. I would love to see the number of the amount of people that are on the app. Because the amount of people that are on the app, all of them, those are the only ones that'll ever see a Mike P battle in the last 4 years. It's crazy for me to think about that. And when the compensation stopped compensating, then it became an issue. but it's way deeper than me wanting people to see my battles. I mean, that part of the culture is dead. And I mean, like I said, man, there's no coincidence. There's no coincidence. It's not a coincidence that everything has kind of started crumbling, and some of the biggest artists that have ever came out and you know, are now, you know, beefing with Smack publicly, and all these people have all these fucking problems, and nobody cares about anything but drama and gossip. That's because everyone's separated. Everyone's separated. It's dark days, man. Dark days for battle rap. But like I said, man, we got 6 months left in a year. Right? Little under. You know, we as hard as it is to believe, man, as hard as it is to believe, we might be sitting here in December and going, hey, what a year. Wow. What a turnaround. Incredible. Those classic battles, those classic moments, those classic cards, man. Last half of the year really cleaned shit up. We very well may be doing that. We may as well be sitting here in December and wondering how we got here. Dark days for URL, not so much for battle rap. BK. URL is very much battle rap, man. URL is very much battle rap. You know, that's like the UFC falling off and you saying that MMA is going to continue like nothing ever happened, right? You can't not put them together, you know what I'm saying? I think it's important that URL does good, but you know, I also think that the energy that you put out into the world at some point is going to come back around to you. And whether K-Shine is in the right, whether or wrong, whether Easy the Block Captain was right or wrong, whether, you know, other big battlers that have publicly came out and had issues, and smaller battlers that had issues, God tiers like Mike P. You know, whether people like that, you know, are right or wrong, you know, the world will answer that for you. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of, and that's why I try not to speak too specific about issues that other people have. And I know that's the one thing that people have held against me since I've come out and talked about URL. I find it so crazy that you're waving the pom-poms and yet here you are. You know, you had nothing to say about this guy. You had nothing to say about that, or this problem or that problem. I don't need to. The world will answer that for you. The energy that you put out will answer that for you. You just have to sit back and wait. I've always kind of been that person, right? You know, I've watched drama after drama after drama every single day, and I could flick this camera on and talk about it in a weird way, and in a instigative way, and clickbait you and you know, do all that other shit. But I just don't like, because I just know it'll be answered at some point. At some point, we'll all find out who's right or wrong, and you'll find out whether the person tells you or something happens.